I would like to discuss the program a little bit and then explain the purpose of this meditation. So from 8:30 until 9 a.m. We have the walking meditation. So we have almost 15 minutes of time. Okay, so how many of you have heard about Mudita as a meditation? Normally, yes, you do. Normally, when you learn about meditation in the Buddhist teachings, early Buddhist teachings, there are many meditations. It's a big area. We try to learn from early Buddhism. Early Buddhism means specifically first four Nikayas, Digha Nikaya, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara. These are the earliest teachings. And if you look at these suttas, across all these suttas we find two forms of meditations. One is satipatthanas that come under what you call sati, samma sati practice. In addition to that, we understand our daily meditation. More importantly, Brahma Vihara meditations. There are 4 Brahma Viharas: Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. So Satipatthanas also kind of daily meditations, but Satipatthanas are not almost taken as higher attitude, so higher form of living. If you look at meditators, they might do a lot of Satipatti. Yes, they do have to, but in order for you to elevate your level of your life, spiritual life, you need to practice Brahma Viharas. So that's why, you may have participated in many retreats about Metta, and I also have done many Metta retreats elsewhere. And, Karuna, how important is Karuna, compassion, and Mudita. Not many people talk about it. Perhaps it could be a very hard thing, harder than all these former two. So that's why Mudita is not just an attitude, it is a meditation. So how to do it? So that's why I picked up, but I put a different title saying, I am happy that you are happy. Normally, in a world of doing things in our own way, in your own way, in my own way, it is very normal for us to forget about the feeling of accepting other people in their own way. Perhaps it's not my problem, your problem. It may be meritocracy. In societies where governments, cultures, hierarchy talk about it, don't be happy for other people. Just be happy for yourself. Do your thing. Try to create a lot of merits in your life. Work well, study well, earn money better than other people, unlock your power of wisdom. We are saying, no, don't need to unlock, it's already unlocked. Why to unlock it? So when you look at all these aspects, sometimes it might be a colonized way of looking at it. You are always supposed to look for yourself, not for other people. So there are many sources of why many of us, including others, perhaps have a hard time in understanding this mudita as a continuous practice. Yes, time to time you know that I have to be happy for other people. But why it has not taken a usual daily practice? Not that somebody has to tell me all the time, you have to be happy for other people. Why it has been a little bit challenging practice? Other than metta and karuna, I think many people can go to metta very easily, although there are problems too. Many people can go to karuna easier than mudita. Why mudita? So that means there are a lot of things that we may have overlooked, that we may have to see them. So, as I said, Satipatthanas and Brahma Viharas. Now, also when you go to meditation retreats, talks about meditation, there are a lot of conversations going on samatha and vipassana. Now, what are these meditations? Now, normally we understand in the early Buddhist texts The Buddha doesn't talk about samatha as a meditation separately in the Noble Eightfold Path, and also vipassana. What he says is that samatha vipassana are two stages of any meditation, be that a Brahma Vihara meditation or a Satipatthana. Samatha means calming part. Yes, we have to calm us. Even in this meditation, we have to calm us. There's a samatha part happening, and then once samatha part is happening, then you are going to switch that samatha's calmness into the, the aspects of mudita, that is vipassana. So samatha vipassana are more likely stages in early Buddhism. But later on, especially when you look at some countries, meditations that they started in 18th century, 19th century, it became a different standalone meditation practice. Like samatha is a meditation, but samatha was a quality of the meditation. Samatha was a stage of meditation. And vipassana itself is a different meditation. Vipassana is a part of every meditation someone has to go through. So we understand these two main aspects then, Satipatthanas and Brahma Vihara. Are there any meditations other than these two types? They do. What about some alternative meditation? Buddhism has space for everybody, right? They are not excluding anyone. There is a lot of inclusivity. What are they? Anusati practices. Anusati. Sati is there. Sati and Brahma Viharas, this is the first two areas. And then Anusati practices. These are alternative meditation practices. Recollections, we normally call it. What are they? Buddha Anusati, meditation on the Buddha's great qualities. It's one of the Anusatis. Dhamma Anusati, meditation on the 6 great qualities of the Dhamma. Exactly how we recited a while ago. Sangha Anusati, meditation on the 9 great qualities of the Sangha members. And then Sila Anusati. Now you are practicing Sila today, different Sila, 8 precepts. At the end of the day, you can think about, I've been practicing 8 precepts today. That itself will become a meditation. We call them Sila Anusati meditation. And Devata Anusati, that means a huge respect for the Devas, God's deities. And it can be a meditation as well. And Chaga Anusati, suppose you are a person who has been giving dana every month, every week, not maybe even food dana to Mahasangha, maybe your own way you are helping a certain group of people for a worthy cause, all are dana. Even you smile with good heart, it's a dana, right? And today I think we should be able to have a lot of dana because we are going to be happy for other people. I give my attention to somebody and you give your attention to somebody that you know you don't know, right? It is a dana. Perhaps one of the reasons why many people cannot keep this continuing, this mudita practice, is they don't want to give their appreciation to other people. They do the sangika dana, food dana, maybe other dana for other relevant people, but they are not giving their attention, their acceptance to other people's achievement. It is a dana, it's a higher way of dana. Right? That's why the Buddha said, Sabba danang dhamma danang jinati. Out of all danas, sharing, giving dhamma is the highest. This transmission that I'm telling you, I'm teaching with. So, that means being able to accept. I mean, you are going to give your trust, you are going to give your acknowledgement, appreciation to somebody that you know you don't know. It is one of the ways of, perhaps this is not the easy way to give the dana. You pick up the easy way all the time, easy. Buy something, go and it's good, better than doing nothing. But being able to acknowledge, appreciate someone in your life and others will be more challenging. We have to get there. Today, one day, another day, before we cannot understand Dhamma one day because of our cognitive physical problems. So, Chaga Anusati, that means remembering about how I engage in dana activity. Earlier on, I gave dana, I don't know what I did. I was not cognizant about how I did the dana, why I give. Somebody asked me, come to the temple, I give dana, right? And after 2-3 years, you are thinking, there must be something else. Then somebody asked me to do. Like in Abhidhamma, they say, Abhidhamma books, sasankarika, asankarika kusala. Kusala motivated by other people, kusala motivated by oneself. Abhidhamma way of looking at it. You are thinking, maybe I had sasankarika type of kusala. I gave dana being supported by my kalyana mittas. But then, why don't I make it to a higher level, better level? Then you understand the asankarika level of giving dana, or meditation, or whatever. I didn't need other people's support at that point. I knew that it would be good to go and do it. Right? So that means you are navigating your own dana after that point, while being grateful, thankful to others. So this way, there are alternative meditations. There are 10 anusatis. So once again, if I classify this way, Satipatthanas, Brahma Viharas, and anusatis. So these are the main. And then within the Satipatthana, we understand eating can be a meditation, which we are going to do today, as we do. And then talking is a meditation. How many of you practice meditation while talking? Or you just blasted what you want to say. I don't care what you think about it. Why? That was the problem. I put my meditation into the Mahaviharas to the midday meditation. But in my house, I'm out of that mind. Why? Something wrong with me. Perhaps I haven't understood this whole bigger picture of meditation teachings of the Buddha. And what about eating, drinking, our health problems? Like a lot of struggles that we are having that we don't want to share with other people sometimes. Why? Somebody created my problem? No, I created my problem, my own problem, if I had done so. And then the Buddha even asks us postures, and even when you don't talk to somebody, you are silent. Not that silence in the house after an argument. That is a silence that you had to go. But this is silence that you don't talk, but you know why I not talking. When you talk, I know how I talk, what to talk. I want to talk in moderation, not that talk everything that comes to my mind. Right? So I have a discipline. At that point, discipline comes from all these aspects. We will discuss them later. So this way, Brahma Viharas are one of the very important pillars of our daily meditations. So metta. When you practice metta, there are 5 target groups: oneself, loved ones, neutral people, challenging ones, and all living beings. Karuna, it will be the same. Then mudita. Here the problem is, are we having mudita for other people? So then you are starting from loved ones, neutral ones, challenging ones, and all living beings. So mudita is the most important way of being happy during our daily life. We can be happy in our own way, but at the same time we see somebody who is doing better than me, us. How come? How come you are happier than me? Then what happens is that most people cannot understand why that person is happy or happier than them. Then immediately envy comes in, jealousy comes in, don't know what's going to come after. Stinginess, hatred, frustration. Right? A lot of negative akusala emotions kicking in, coming up. So that's why, yes, we all want to be happy. Think about somebody over here said, by the end of this retreat tomorrow, I will become a Sotapanna. I raise you. And oh my goodness. And then why cannot I think about that way? I mean, should I be concerned? No, I don't have to be concerned. Venerable Ananda didn't attain anything. He was just a Sotapanna. Right? I go in my own way. It might be a journey of a tortoise. It might be a journey of a rabbit. It doesn't matter, but I do it in my own way. I don't have to be impacted by other fellow people. If they want to be as such, I understand maybe their karma, their virya, their understanding. It should not impact me because I have my own way. But time to time, I check my own way, whether my own way is Dhamma friendly, whether I am doing enough or not. That should be done. But other than that, I shouldn't be impacted by anybody's, even anybody's spiritual strength qualities. What about material things? Definitely. So this is the background of this retreat. We will unpack a lot of things as we continue. Let me just share with you how we are going to do it. Now from 8:39, we are doing a walking meditation. Walking meditation. We are first choosing a place to walk. It can be 5 to 10 meters. I don't think we all can do walking meditation here. You may go outside and then you choose a certain place. Don't walk everywhere, like you have no place to walk everywhere. Choose a place because you need to focus during that time. And then you are focusing on certain aspects of your walking. Lifting, moving, and then placing. These are 3 things, right? So normally when you walk, you might not look at what's happening to your walking. Why is walking meditation important? It is because when you walk, you feel happy. Think about 2 people. After an argument, a problem, one person wants to stay in the house, the other person wants to walk outside the house. Who will be getting the peace faster? The one who goes outside. He or she thinks, no, this problem I had with somebody is not only my problem. It might be a universal problem. Everybody is having problems. Minor, tiny problems. So when you see the world, it's not that I have to focus on this tiny problem. See, nature, other people, society is moving. I had to keep up. I had to move on. Not that I have to struggle, argue back, retaliate, talk back, and stay in the house. I want to win this argument. I want to take the last word of this conversation. Not that like that. Going out, feel happy. That means walking even helps you to get back to your normal state of mind. Even you take it that way. Now here when you walk, what you are doing, normally you walk not to see how you walk. Not to see whether you are a good figure, whether you are walking not being hunchback or whatever. Well, you are seeing whether I'm walking properly, straight properly. At the same time, what is happening while I'm walking? And then when you are walking, you may discipline yourself, not walk very fast, not walk very slowly, but in a moderate pace you are walking. Let's say you start from here, then you make sure that the path is clear, other people are not here on your path, and you are walking and watching how your foot is being lifted, how it is being moved, and how it is placed down, and vice versa, the other foot is being. So when I look that, I understand that not that I have to carry a lot of emotions while I am walking. Normally when you walk, you carry a lot of emotions. I want to do this, do that, sometimes akusala, sometimes a bit of kusala. So when you practice this understanding, awareness, lifting, moving, placing down, and this is what is happening during my walking, you will not carry that many akusala negativities outside this walking meditation. So then you will understand that I have to walk by watching what is happening in my walking. So this is what, it's in a way an antidote to the walking that you did while carrying a lot of unnecessary emotions. That is one thing. Second thing is that it gives you lots of happiness, joy. Right? So this is what we are doing. After that, we are having a sitting meditation. That means our main meditation, Mudita meditation. You come back here by 9 o'clock, and then there's a Dhamma talk after the rest. That's the morning part. I think you have the program, so I don't have to. One thing I want to notice is that reflection time walking personal interviews. We already distributed a link through Google Calendar. I didn't see as of now. So if you don't know how to make it, please approach a volunteer. They will do for you. That's something I want to share. Okay. So now let's start our walking meditation. So may the practice that we are creating today and tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, be a pillar, be a very good pillar in our learning of Dhamma, practicing of Dhamma, and then finally attaining the enlightenment, Nibbana, one day in our life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so please rise and then we will do our walking meditation. If there's anybody who needs any short piece of advice and guidance about walking meditation, please approach me. Otherwise, please do your own walking meditation. So the way how this meditation works is that we start with a little bit of breath meditation, anapanasati. They are the same instructions like posture and then what you call scanning the body, relaxation, and then only we go to the mudita part. This is when you do the mudita as a regular meditation. But when you develop it, it will be an attitude to you later on. Right? Because every time when you are going through other people's success, you cannot do it as a meditation. So you will make it as an attitude later on. But now at the moment, you will make it as a meditation, as a regular meditation. Okay, so please get ready. You may be seated on a chair, or on a cushion, or on the floor. In whatever the way you are seated, you are going to make sure that you are in the proper postures. The proper posture means here, for the calmness, you are going to keep your back upright, but not too tight. If you have a medical condition, that should be okay. Other than that, you are trying to keep your back upright. Hands resting wherever they are comfortable. You may put your right palm on the left palm. You may just rest your hands on your lap. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. Tongue on the roof of your mouth. What about eyes? You may keep your eyes closed, or you may keep your eyes half closed, or you may have a soft gaze. So after you make sure that you are sitting upright, hands resting wherever they are comfortable, tongue on the roof of your mouth, eyes in your convenient way, then you are going to scan your body. Why to scan the body? It is to appreciate for the well-being, physical, mental, emotional well-being that you have at this point. Appreciate. It's one way of mudita for us. How to do it? You are going to get a sense of different manifestations of your body without clinging to the body. We do look at our body in our daily life, but just to maintain our body for beautification, decoration, and etc., etc. But today you are going to look at your body not to do that, but to appreciate, admire your body without creating a clinging to the body. What are the manifestations of your body? It might be your size, shape, and whatever other dimensions of manifestation. You are happy for all that. You are accepting yourself. You don't furthermore need to compare to other people. You're happy, you accept yourself fully, your body, that gives you some amount of calmness. After scanning the body, then we are moving on to the relaxation part of the body. Relaxing the body for any tightness or tension is very important for us to go to the breath, watching the breath. How to relax the body? If you think that you have some tightness or tension in your body, you may take a deep breath. We call it an exaggerated breath, forceful breath. You can take 1 to 3 deep breaths to see whether you are relaxed enough for the breath. Whenever you feel relaxed enough through the deep breaths, then you are going to move on to the actual breath meditation. Actual breath meditation here means watching your breaths for 3 stages of each breath. We understand that there could be a long breath, short breath, or a mixture of those two. These are the main types of breaths. Suppose you are having a long breath, then you are going to watch the 3 stages of that long breath. How is my long breath arising? How is it going to stay for a moment of time? How is it going to go away? Arising, staying, and going away, parts of the long breath. Whenever you are done watching those 3 moments of that long breath, then you are going to do the same process for the immediate next breath. It might be again a long breath, maybe a short breath, maybe a mixture of those 2. Suppose you are having a short breath, you are going to pay attention to how my short breath is arising, has been arising, or has arisen, how it is staying for a moment, and how it is slowly, gradually going away. Make sure that you are watching 1 breath at a time. Now you are continuing your watching breaths. You are experiencing calmness. During this calmness, while you are watching the breath, on the other hand, you are now bringing mudita into your meditation at this point. At the beginning, I shared with you, breath is the starting point of all these meditations. So now with this calmness that you are creating within the breath meditation, while you are doing it on the side, you are now going to pay attention to mudita aspects in your life, unselfish joy. You are going to think that whether am I able to accept other people for their achievements, success, happiness, and all that. Not just time to time, as an attitude, as a perspective. At this point, you are going to bring certain people's success into your meditation as a mudita meditation. Now bring to mind someone you love, someone whose happiness brings you happiness. Maybe your spouse, your partner, a dear friend, a beloved teacher, a kind mentor. Picture them smiling, thriving, radiant in their joy. Say softly in your mind, I am happy that you are happy. Your joy uplifts my heart. Your success does not diminish me. It expands me. Once again, I am happy that you are happy. Your joy uplifts my heart. Your success does not diminish me. It expands me. Let your joy become my joy. Like a candle lighting another, nothing is lost and everything is gained. Bringing your perspective of mudita to your loved ones. And now, slowly you are going to extend this feeling of mudita to neutral people in your life. Extend this feeling to a neutral person. Someone you see but don't know well. Perhaps a colleague, a neighbor, a stranger on the street. Say softly in your mind, I am happy that you are happy. Your joy uplifts my heart. Your success does not diminish me. It expands me. At this point, you are thinking about that particular neutral person. After you are extending, or you extended this mudita, being able to understand mudita with neutral ones, you are extending the same feeling to challenge difficult ones in your life. Now, if you feel ready, gently, compassionately, bring to mind someone who has challenged you in your life. Mentally, emotionally, in other perspectives too. Not to condone their actions, but to recognize their humanity. And you are bringing mudita perspectives to them, these challenging people, challenged ones. I am happy that you are happy. Your joy uplifts my heart. Your success does not diminish me. It expands me. Moving from loved ones, neutral ones, and challenged ones. You are going forward with these mudita perspectives. Feel your heart stretch wider, like the sky that holds both sun and storm. Feel the gentle warmth of joy, untainted by jealousy, envy, free from comparisons. This level of mind that you have been coming so far has been influenced by mudita to loved ones, neutral ones, and challenged ones. Now finally, you are bringing these mudita perspectives to all living beings. Now bring all my beings to mind, near and far, known and unknown, human and more than human, and send out this wish. May all beings be joyful. I rejoice in your happiness. Your joy is a blessing to this world. May the joy we cultivate in others' happiness become a boundless wellspring within our own hearts. May we carry this joy beyond the cushion today and tomorrow into every smile we meet, every success we witness, and every moment we share. So let us reflect upon mudita while practicing breath meditation until 9:30. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are taking a 10 minutes of break, so please refresh yourself, take your refreshments, and then come back here by 9:40 for the Dhamma talk about our theme. And after doing the puja, vandana, and then giving your 8 precepts, meditation, now we are good to go to our topic, just to give you some insights. Without these insights, meditation will not be easy. This particular mudita meditation. I think Brother Leslie is going to share that out in our WhatsApp group in a moment of time. Yeah. Perhaps till he do that, we will get started with our time constraint. Okay. First of all, we need to understand, the English wordings for translations for jealousy, I would say issa, the Pali word issa, I-S-S-A. So this is the polar opposite of mudita, right? Now, if you are asked by someone, why did the Buddha teach us 5 precepts in the negative way? Is it like a reverse psychology? Why he said, don't kill, don't steal? Why not to have it given in a way that take care of every being, take care of every being's possessions, engage in sexual conduct, and then speak the truth, and then eat and drink responsibly? Right? Why he didn't say that way? Why he went to certain parameters in a way that no, that way? In today's world, when we say no, people might not be happy, especially when you talk to kids, teenagers, no, then why? Why you say no? So we have to have a why, answer to a why. So the reason why the Buddha gave that way is to create a boundary. Then you know that you are free before that particular ethical parameter. Let's say you may do things, but not to kill. Right? And then on another note, he says, not even killing, even a thought of killing can be a problem. Right? So that way, he used these ethical parameters in a you cannot say negative way, in a no perspective. There is a Pali sutta called Kesi Sutta. In that sutta, Buddha was meeting a horse trainer. I think we shared that in our sutta class all the time. In this horse trainer story, Kesi approached the Buddha and asked him, I can see that you have a lot of monks and nuns. How do you train them? You have a lot of monks and nuns. I believe that they are not equally trained. I don't think you can discipline them every day, because how to manage 1,000 over monks every day, what they are doing and everything. Then the Buddha said, he has couple ways to do it. One thing is that he teach them that this is the way how you are going to discipline yourself. But if the person, even a devotee, is not going to discipline well, at that point, I am going to kill that person. That's the word. Hana, ghatana. Then the Kesi was surprised. You are talking compassion, avihimsa, non-violence. And now you are saying you are killing the disciples, monks, nuns, devotees. Then the Buddha said that my way of killing is not that actual normal killing. I stopped giving them advices. I stopped giving them avavada and anusasana. Right? So in that particular sutta, he talks about 3 types of training. One is gentle training, second being the harsh training, and then gentle harsh training. So he uses 3 types of training. One is when he talks about any disciplinary thing, sila, vinaya, anything, he talks in the positive way. Let's say he wants to talk to somebody, give a disciplinary advice to someone, not having the impression that you have done a bad thing. I just give an anusasana, Pali word anusasana, not avavada. Avavada is an advice, something happened, we had to talk about it. Nothing has happened, but just to tell you, make sure that you are good. So, gentle training is not using the word no. It's kind of a take care of all living beings. Take care of the possessions, belongings of every being. That kind of way. Harsh training means negative way, with some negative no points. Don't kill, don't steal, don't sexually misbehave. That kind of a training. And then harsh, gentle training is the both. So what kind of training would you like to get? I know what training you have been having so far. Perhaps harsh training, always say, no, you can't do this, you can't do this. Like that, the monk who, the businessman who became a monk, right? Dhammapada story, right? Remember? Some of my students know actually. Maybe I can share with you. I think we need that kind of approach to get into this kind of topic. There was a businessman during the Buddha's time, and he met a monk on the way. And then he was interested. He said, I want to learn Buddhism. So how to start? Where to begin? I think this is a problem to many people. Huh? How did I start Buddhism? Was it from a Dhamma talk, from a book, maybe a Kalyana Mitta, or it's a very random thing? Or then I joined something. Because that first training is very important. Because if it happened in a way that was not really progressive, you might have stagnated in your practice. So anyways, this monk told him, okay, you can start your practice by doing some dana, giving some dana. He said, what is dana and how to do it? He said, you go to the temple, maybe you do pindachara, pindapata once a month. That is, you start your dana practice. Right? I think this advice was given to you by many people, right, in your life. Maybe your friends, monks, whoever, maybe the books. Then he started doing it. After some time he said, it's a little boring, once a month I go and do it. Is there any way I can intensify my practice? It's kind of a spiritual boring. Spiritual boredom. He said, okay, you can increase the number of dana time. Maybe you can do twice a month. Right? So he started giving dana twice a month. Then he again approached the monk. Then he said, maybe you can do every week. Again he approached, he said, okay, every day, if you have time, every day. Then after some time, he again approached him, the monk. He said, is there any other virtue that I can practice other than dana? I want to intensify my practice, increase. He said, sila. What is sila? Sila means you take care of your well-being, especially your body, speech, mind. Then the monk gave him some precepts. So then after some time, he was again wondering, is there anything else I can do? Then he said to him, perhaps I don't know what I can tell you, maybe you can become a monk. He said, okay, what is being a monk? He said, you stay in a vihara and you follow their things and you become somebody who is having a totally spiritual life. Now you have a hybrid life, lay life, monk life, little bit. You totally stick to that life. He went back home. He asked from his wife, this monk is telling me I can become a monk. Would you like I become a monk? Okay, I will wait for you. I love you. And then he took the initiative. He became a monk. And then what happened? This was the problem. Every monk is getting two teachers, Acharya, Upajjhaya. Acharya is the close teacher, and then the mentor, Upajjhaya. Once in a while, periodically, the new monk has to see. So what happened was that this businessman, now he became a monk, he got his Acharya as a Vinaya teacher, very strict Vinaya teacher. A lot of advices. And then his Upajjhaya was an Abhidhamma teacher, talking a lot of high-end, very deep core Dhamma teachings. So then he was dealing with both of them, but he found out it's very difficult to carry on the way how he thought before he became a monk. Now, before I became a monk, I was very happy, happy-go-lucky man. But now, I feel like I can't even stretch my hand because my teacher say, no, you can't do that. That's not sati. We have no sampajanya. You have to put your hand down. And then when I go see the Upajjhaya, he is talking very deep Dhamma things. I don't understand. I have no virya to understand them. This is too much for me. Then I better become a lay person back. I do a dana and then do my lay life. So then he started now becoming disrobe. I disrobe and I become a normal lay person. When I have time, I practice my spirituality. Then he started now going back. On the way, the Buddha met him. And then he asked, why are you leaving? He said, because my teacher is a Vinaya teacher and my Upajjhaya is a mentor. I think the things that I'm learning is too much for me. I think I can't take them, especially for spiritual life. So I'm leaving. Then he said to him, the Buddhist order is under me, not for different monks. They ordain on behalf of me, but they cannot tell you to go. So I tell you something. Vinaya, Abhidhamma. So can you forget about Vinaya, forget about Abhidhamma. Can you do one thing? He was very happy, one thing. What is that? Can you take care of your thoughts? Yeah, I can do that. And within a couple of days, he became an Arahant. Sandwiched between Vinaya and Abhidhamma, and then this person got the right advice in the right condition, hit the enlightenment. That means we need the right person to advise us. It doesn't mean other teachers are bad. We respect everybody. But that right condition, right person, and our right conditions as well, opportunities. So what does this story mean? That means if we don't understand the polar opposites of what we are doing, like in the cases sutta, we might not be able to understand these good virtues. In the same way, in the discussion of mudita, now we are looking at why we don't have mudita sometimes. Right? I'm not demonizing anybody here, but why we are losing mudita time to time. Why we have not been able to stick to mudita in the long run. It is because issa, the Pali word is I-double-S long A, issa. So Pali word issa generally has two English connotations. One is envy, one is jealousy. You can see envy means wanting what someone else has. I think most of us may have this time to time. To accept us, that is part of mudita. And then after you had that intention, whatever the thought, then worrying someone else will take what you have. I mean, say for instance, even what you have, what you don't have. So that means envy and jealousy are being used interchangeably with regard to the opposite of mudita. Look at this photo. Were you able to get the link for this PPT? You must have gotten it. Now two people were trying to apply for a lottery, and somebody got it and the other person lost, and see the suffering and this person is having. A mind rejoicing in others' merit becomes fertile ground for its own wholesome growth. Now we would like to look at this kind of situation. This is just a lottery situation. How many other situations have we gone through in our life? We tried together, but what happened is something that stuck us at that point. And pain, frustration must have come up. Naturally, perhaps. Doesn't matter how much Dhamma we know, doesn't matter how much practice we have. But if we do not particularly develop mudita, we are the victims of this same issue. Maybe you have 5 precepts, you do all these normal cultural things, good things, but still we have not worked with mudita, so we still continue to become not that good. So the tagline here is that if we create, the hypothetical thing here is that if we develop mudita, that will be a very much fertile ground for us to create wholesome growth. Not wholesomeness, wholesome growth. That means growth of kusala. Kusala has to be grown. Not that you always plant it. Yes, we plant it. Listening to Dhamma talks, doing all these things, you carry kusala seeds back home. But then have we been able to plant them? That is a question. You ask from yourself. Very innocent question. So, only if we can plant them. In order to plant them, we need lots of things to clear in our life. So that means mudita will be a very interesting trigger, support for us to create that growth, kusala growth. The power of mudita. Now let's understand Pali word mudita. Now muda means happiness, maybe joy, we can say joy. Happiness for others without self-interest. Now, if you look at why is the opposite of mudita taking us over, it is because we have a lot of self-interest for us. Is it bad to have self-interest? No, it is not. We should have self-interest. But what if that it is going to take us over? There's no healthy management of our self-interest. That could be a problem. That is when mudita is going away, issa is taking over, issa is coming to us. So we fundamentally understand mudita is such a valuable thing. You can have metta karuna, but mudita is the biggest issue. Lack of mudita is the biggest issue that many people cannot stay happy during the day. They start with metta in the morning. I think they might do volunteer activities elsewhere, but come back home, go to social media and see, what is this? I cannot process my feelings. Even a spiritual activity, right? And when I go to certain talks, some of the questions asked by many are related to temples, dana activities, other volunteer activities. Most of the questions, they are not about good and bad binary. Kusala binary. They are saying somebody is controlling, somebody is bossy. Why? This is the problem, that mudita has not gone into those kusala activities. They are doing good activities in their own way. They are doing dana, they are doing sila, they are doing other things. But somebody has gone earlier in that part of the activity, does something, and this person doesn't feel that I can be a part of it. Even, I mean, we can talk about this in many ways. Maybe we have taken even dana, sila, bhavana without mudita. So we need to bring mudita into these normal spiritual activities. That's why mudita has to be separately practiced, definitely. And you can see here, if you ever felt even a tiny twinge of jealousy or envy while someone else got what you wanted, this thing is for us, not for just you, for all of us. I mean, you may be someone who has really worked out this thing, very good person in the last 10 years, understanding everybody, understanding everyone's happiness. You become a better person in you compared to your previous self. Then this might be very important. The power of mudita, as you can see here, issa, envy, jealousy, and maccharya, stinginess. So issa co-arises with maccharya. What is maccharya? Maccharya means not giving to anybody, not would like to appreciate other people, because if I appreciate, I will lose something in myself. I will lose my credit, reputation, everything. How many people are going through this issue? When maybe they are asked, why you not appreciating your other people in your family? I don't want to, because I feel like I lose something if I do it. So where is dana in that point? Dana has to go, it's a dana, just appreciate. Just give that appreciation, offer it. You don't have to struggle. Otherwise you take it to yourself, you may struggle. So that means issa co-arises with maccharya. Maccharya is another hatred-based thought. Actually, issa comes from dosa. If you go to Abhidhamma says, Theravada Abhidhamma, it says the source of all these akusala activities, they are taken to lobha, dosa, moha. Moha is the what you call the root of all these akusalas, but then they are going to classify all the akusalas into either to the lobha or the dosa. Now tell me one akusala that comes from lobha. Tell me another sub akusala. Ditti, views, wrong views, it arises from lobha. Why? Someone clings to one's own views. Personal, social, political, global views. And then this person is making a big problem. Even in family, a lot of arguments happening. This is my way. I mean, you have to accept what I, what I believe. Yes, we have to accept. But what if that kind of thinking goes very harsh, very hard in their conversation? It's going to be not a nice place after that. Right? So views arise from lobha. Jealousy arises from hatred. Why? I don't like to do it. I don't like means hatred. I'm not saying I don't like to eat XYZ food. That is okay. That like and dislike should be there. Because initially likes and dislikes are okay. But what if someone is creating a very excessive hatred, disliking towards something, like what happens in issa? That is definitely creating lots of hatred and hate, conflict. So issa, maccharya co-arises. Repeated contemplation of others' goodness, happiness softens the heart and loosens ego clinging. Now you always trying to become a sotapanna, right? Are you? You are going all the places to become a sotapanna. Your motivation is how to become a sotapanna. A lot of talks going on. Prerequisites to become a sotapanna. At the end of all the Dhamma talks, they are talking about become a sotapanna. Ratana Sutta talks about sotapatti. Then it says one of the good ways of reducing, lowering your sakkaya ditthi, one of the biggest things, the starting point of our anti-sotapatti factors is ego, sakkaya ditthi. When you practice mudita, that is a very straight way to keep it down. if you have not connected mudita to sakkaya ditthi, then today you learn that mudita is because then you are reducing your clinging towards other people's happiness. Sakkaya ditthi is not only about you, it's about other people too, the way how you process other people's happiness. As one rejoices in others, others will rejoice in one's own progress. It might be, it might not be, but it will be a workable place for mutual upliftment. Mudita, the joyful gateway to Upekka. Now what is the next Brahma Vihara after Mudita? Upekka. Now Upekka is the highest quality, spiritual quality that we all are supposed to practice. Upekka means being able to watch, understand anything, not being driven by any particular pride, prejudice or bias, being able to look at it very balancedly. I think this is what many people are lacking in today's world. In our normal life, we have our own views, so then we would like to look at it through that view. Even Vipassana idea, seeing things as they are or seeing things how they come to be, and all these ideas coming from this Upekka, true Upekka. So let's see a sequential activity when you practice mudita. I'm still talking the importance of mudita. Mudita naturally balances karuna, preventing it from sliding into sorrow, domanassa. What is karuna? Karuna means you are putting yourself in other person's shoes. Then there is empathy before that. You empathize and then you become compassionate. Normally we understand empathy is the smaller version of karuna. Compassion is the larger version of karuna. Sometimes we know somebody is having pain, but we cannot intervene. Other people, other family, what to do? I cannot do that. It's going to be a problem. Sometimes I can do something. Right? Think about the Myanmar got an earthquake, many people died. You think about how to give some donations to Myanmar. And thinking about some charities. And I give 1,000 ringgit for the earthquake. But 800 will only be taken for the relief. 200 taken for the admin cost. And I'm thinking how to give a full donation to this. Right? I mean, if I think that I want to give a full donation, right, the full money. So there are things like that. So that means karuna means that you are empathetic and compassionate, but never slide yourself into sorrow through karuna. This happens. Some people are crying, so much worried, yes, and taking it so emotionally. So as a Buddhist, I mean, we might cry, tears might come, but we have to be careful. Then that karuna will become a domanassa. Right? As some people say, when they give dana, they come up with tears. I say, what's going on? Tears. I'm so happy for the moment, yes. But now, what are you supposed to think about during dana? May I overcome my lobha, my dosa, my moha? Right? That is what you are supposed to think about, right? Now, where is your that thinking? If domanassa takes it over, so where are you bringing that right view into your dana? So you are doing a simply general dana. If you want to create more kusala, you have to be careful because you have to bring in right view into any part of the dana, before, during, after. So that means the nature of karuna sometimes to some people is when they are overpowering with excessive ways of karuna, they might get into domanassa. So that's why mudita, when you have the mudita, you understand karuna well. So once again I want to tell you, metta, karuna, mudita, upekka cannot be practiced separately. They are intertwined. They are interconnected. They are working together. Not they are working together. You are making them to work together. Let's look at that side too. What's the sutta? Attaka Nagara Sutta Majjhima Nikaya, and many other suttas where Buddha talks about metta, karuna, mudita, upekka work together. They work in tandem and they reciprocate each other. How now let's say you start metta meditation, you want to practice metta. Then how to practice metta? Why are you picking up other people? You have karuna for other people. That's why you are picking up them, right? Then why metta should have mudita? How to practice metta if you are not happy for other people? Mudita also part of metta then. Let's say, why I pick up a challenging person in my metta? Because I have to be happy for that person too. I have to bring this loving kindness to that person too. If I don't have mudita, I won't bring. That's what many people do in their metta. Someone was complaining, I have a very challenging person in my family. I think we discussed that some time ago. So I do metta every day, but still the problems are there, same problems. 10 years ago, I had the same problem, now also the same problem. I asked, did you include that person in your metta? Never. How to include him? I don't want to. I think expect more problems. Because the problematic person will not feel your metta. You're staying with somebody and then you are not including that person in your metta. So that person will not feel your metta. You know, how many times you tell, I do metta every day. That person will not feel. Include him and tell me in a couple of months, 6 months, things have been changing. Not just the way how he reacted, but also the way how this particular person looked at him. That anger was reduced, and then the way how she looked at the perceptions, memories with him before, gone down, very healthy, wholesome, peaceful. I said, this is happiness. That means you needed a little bit of mudita for that metta, right? And then upekka. How does upekka influences metta? Upekka means this balanced thought. If we don't have a balanced thought, why we are asked to bring everybody into my metta? What does Buddha say in the Metta Sutta? Mettancha sabba lokasmin mana sambhaveya parimana. Incalculable, infinite, unlimited metta must be invested and then to give to other people. Why should I create unlimited metta? I only give to my people. I give to my people around my place. I give to people I have challenges. No, all living beings. All living beings. Sabbi satta bhavantu sukhitatta. That's the phrase at the end of all these metta verses. That means what? Mudita, be happy for everybody. Bring happiness to everybody. This clearly shows, as Buddha says in many Pali suttas, metta is not a standalone practice. Karuna is not a standalone practice. Mudita, upekka do the same thing. They work together. They work together naturally, and meditators should understand they work together. That is how I really improve in my Brahma Vihara meditations. But you may start with one meditation. If you are a beginner, you may start with metta. Then karuna also you start. Mudita upekka. But when you practice a little bit, then you are going to incorporate 4 together. So that's why here mudita balances karuna. Not even balances. Mudita does a lot of things to other. Implication. Cultivating mudita stabilizes the emotions, preparing the ground for upekka, the sublime impartiality. How to become not biased. How not to become taking sides of different people. I don't want to be on a side in my life. Binaries, right? I want to be in the middle, just like the Buddha told me, Majjhima Patipada, Noble Eightfold Path. No to the sides, edges. I should not be in the edges of my spiritual path. Not even I practice dana, chanting, but also I meditate. I'm not somebody who only does dana or chanting. I also practice the rest. I'm not also somebody who only do meditation. I also carry the other things too. All together in my own comfortable, convenient, practical way. So that middle path is the driving force of upekka. Tagline, where compassion mourns, joy uplift. Together they keep the heart poised. Little poetic way. That means Karuna, Mudita really work together because they are very close each other. Unselfish joy. Now there are a lot of translations. Sympathetic joy, altruistic joy, and we could say unselfish joy. Because joy is always selfish in our way. When somebody in your family doing well, you can be easily happy. But what if the same thing happens from other people? So we have to sort of deconstruct that selfish, maybe self-interest. Let us feel the other people too. So then, better to say a little bit unselfish joy. And even without external acts, the inward celebration of kusala, goodness, is a karmically potent act. Now I bring dana here. Rejoicing is giving without possessions but with a full heart. Rejoicing is giving. That means not giving dana here. You hear someone is doing dana, good things, and you can rejoice. Not put a palm together, rather than going from beyond that kind of an emoji. Really, you are rejoicing. You are engaging, you are happy. When other people are engaging, you are happy for them and for the activity. Even my challenging person engaging in dana, I am happy for that person. That kind of attitude has to go. So that means from today, whenever you are giving dana, whenever you hear dana anywhere, you can instantly practice mudita. We will talk about practical ways to practice mudita also in the next slide. The Buddha on mudita. The Buddha, so suffering, pain, dukkha, not just in pain, but in envy, jealousy. People do suffer. Just as a mother rejoices in her child's happiness in the Metta Sutta, Mata yata niyang puttang ayusa eka putta manurake. But what if the child next door wins all the awards? Right? This is about the parents. How do the families process those kinds of feelings? In a society where everybody is naturally compared. Enlightenment, we have our traditional way of looking at enlightenment. Meditation, not even meditation. Even a certain perception about reality. In a moment of time, it could be the enlightenment. Like Patachara's enlightenment, right? What was the Patachara's enlightenment? The lady who lost everybody. Husband, 2 children, mother, father, she lost everybody within a week of time. Think about what would happen to you if you lose everybody in your comfort zone in a week of time. And what happened to her? And she learned some Dhamma. And how did the enlightenment work for her? She was watching a certain small miniature waterfall. And she saw water was coming from a high place to a lower place in that miniature waterfall. And she saw, see, the water that was up just a while ago is not the water touching down the bottom of the waterfall. How many times we've been looking at waterfalls, starting from Niagara Falls or any other falls, waterfalls, even your house waterfall in your maybe veranda. Have we ever become enlightened? Or we are only looking at it from a beauty point. Look, yeah, I have a nice, maybe I'm checking who else has better waterfalls. I want to bring something into my house. So that means enlightenment is very specific to everybody, different people. And she saw the impermanence of the water at that point. So enlightenment here with regard to mudita, when another's success feels like your success, that is certain enlightenment hits. You feel this could be the nature of enlightenment. Now I am having it temporary. What if I really enlighten? I have this same state of mind. I can take anybody's success. I have no comments on that. I am happy that you are happy. I mean, that is natural, by proxy, by default. I don't have to worry about it. Now, every time we hear somebody is doing well, how come? Right? How come, you know? How come you did it earlier, you know? Right? I mean, these questions really haunt us. not even haunt us, really kind of twist us, pressurize us. We are unhappy at the end of the day. So that's why even a feeling of enlightenment can be felt during moments of being able to accept others without any comments. Don't do any comments, no comments. Don't try to comment and understand it. If you comment it, you are in a problem. Unless they are asking you, can you comment on our success? Right? So that is one way to look at the whole idea. Now we are going down to certain Buddhist suttas. Metta Sutta, you can understand, Buddha is talking about mettancha sabbhalokasmin, rejoicing in others. That means mudita is over there, boundless heart. Attaka Nagara Sutta, this sutta talks about 11 ways to become an arahant. If you have thought that you're going to be an arahant in one way, then there is a sutta here where Buddha says there are 11 avenues, roads to become enlightened, not one way. 4 of those ways are Brahma Viharas. You can use metta, and then or karuna, or mudita, upeka. In this case, mudita. Let's see how it works. Let's take mudita. A yogi or yogini practices mudita, radiating unselfish joy to all directions. Now, normally we understand directions come from north, south, east, west, then northeast, then southeast, then southwest, and then northwest. Yeah. So these directions. So you are positioning, situating you here, and then you looking at all these areas. Not even that. Above, below, across. So you are radiating this mudita thoughts to all these directions and everybody in those places. More importantly, this Attaka Nagara and many other suttas say you cannot practice Brahma Viharas without one very important quality. Another quality matters to Brahma Viharas. What is that? Free ill will. You have to make yourself free from ill will. That means vyapada. You have to go beyond vyapada and have avyapada. Why? Ill will or non-ill will matters. What's the opposite of ill will? Good will? Huh? It can be. Ill will means thoughts of destroying other people. Are we having these thoughts every day? Huh? I asked this question sometimes. Somebody said, I have 5 ill will thoughts every day. I said, who are they? Are you killing your family members? Ill will, thoughts of destroying other people. Why it happens? Because of no mudita. Right? We cannot accept them in our way. So, Brahma Viharas are not possible without ill will. That means we have to put it down, definitely. No ill will. Because Buddhism is talking about mental activities primarily, not just physical only. So, even mudita is possible when you have the absence of ill will. Now, this is how someone attains Nibbana through the mudita practice. The joyful state of mind, mudita mind, when someone is practicing further, continuously, in the proper way, will be flourishing well. At a certain point, the yogi or the yogini will understand this mudita mind is conditioned and volitionally produced. What is this actually? There are 2 Pali words matter here, which you learn. Is conditioned means sankata. Why it is sankata? And volitionally produced means abhisancheta ita. There are 2 Pali words I couldn't add here. That means during the mudita meditation, at a certain point of mudita meditation, yogi or yogini understand this is a conditioned process. Why? That means every object that I use into my mudita meditation with regard to other people's happiness, they are people of conditioned things. My mother, my father, my partners, my family, neutral people, challenging people, they were made by somebody else, right? This whole are conditioned. How do we know the conditioning of this hole? Ashoka hole. It was renovated many times since many years. Then, how do we say this hole is conditioned? Let's talk about inanimate conditioned things. Somebody must have planned this hole, right? Whoever must have planned this hole. And then, what happened? The people who planned this hole and then gave the project to a certain engineering company. And they came up with their own thoughts. And before the people who planned this hole, what was the conditioning in that thinking? They may have got requests from devotees, this hole, the Henry hole, not enough. We need a bigger hole, right? So all they are conditioned. That means every thought, every plan was conditioned by somebody else's thoughts. Right? So that is how we look at the conditioning. Now here, Mudita meditation, the person who has been doing it, yogi or yogini, understand everybody in this meditation that I included are sankata people, conditioned people. And then abhisanchetayita, which means volitionally produced, means every aspect of this my Mudita meditation has been volitional. I purposely bring them into my meditation. I had good karma. Volitional means I created karma here. So when the yogi or yogini understand my Mudita meditation is sankata condition and abhisanchetayita, volitionally produced, that is the moment the Mudita yogi or yogini shift the focus of the Mudita meditation into anicca. You can see whatever is conditioned and volitionally produced is impermanent. That's the nature of everything, changes and changeability, and subject to cessation. If fully realized, this leads to attainment of Nibbana. The person doesn't do any other meditation, just through the Mudita will attain that path. Metta Sahagata Sutta. With a mind imbued with mudita, one should abide pervading one direction. In the same way, one should pervade the second direction, like north, south, like this. For direction, thus above, below, across, everywhere, toward all beings, one should abide pervading the entire universe, I would say, with a mind filled with vast, exalted, boundless mudita, free from enmity and ill will. It's pretty clear. That means mudita has to go to all these places. Let's talk about why is mudita very hard. It's hard, on the surface level. It's hard to see others loving life while you are struggling to live your own. This is the first thing that we have to work on. How to understand that other people live better than us. How to process that feeling until you get to a certain comfortable point. Questions. Be honest. Have you ever faked a smile at a colleague's promotion? That's a good thing while you are working. Ever watch your rival succeed and thought, why not me? Right? This is a question many people ask in this competitive world. We are wired to compare. Buddhism invites us to unwire. Because we are hardwired with this unnecessary comparisons. Are we not supposed to compare to other people? We do have to compare in a healthy way. Say, for instance, you meet somebody who is more patient than you. You think about what's wrong with me. I can't even stay for a moment. I want to eat very fast. But this person can be patient. What is the secret to that? And you get to meet someone who can sleep very easily. In a moment, I gotta go sleep. And you are struggling 2-3 hours in the sleep. How come? Are people jealous of other people's sleep? Right? That's a question. And then comparisons to other good qualities. Maybe you find somebody who is slow to anger. Right? A lot of things are happening in his or her life. But that person is very slow, not fast to anger. Right? I think it's a very interesting quality, right? Anger is common. We don't need to look at it that we have to get rid of anger completely. It might not be a possible thing. Rather than think about a practical thing. Can I be slow to my anger? Small step. What if I become slow to my anger? I hope that I will not become that bad compared to myself. So this comparison is important to increase my kusala aspects. But what do many do? How do they size up, compares in a very excessive, unwholesome ways? That's how this why not me comes. So we have to unwire these unnecessary comparisons to create more mudita. Not even why it is hard. What blocks mudita? Scarcity mindset. Scarcity. Will I lose? Will I have less? What if I accept somebody's, what if I praise somebody? I don't need to praise. I don't like to praise anybody. I just stay quiet, right? There are problems sometimes when you praise, other people might be not happy. Then we are going to approach the person privately. Thank you for everything you've done. If you understand, your praise compliment might be a problem. But a lot of people, they are feeling that they are being blocked, even they don't know that they are blocked. It is because if they win, I lose. This is something that blocks them. Social media, constant reminders that others are thriving, or are they? Right? Ego, I deserve this more than they do. Right? Sometimes there are people who are having this issue. Even they have succeeded in different ways. They still think, in my young time, if I got that scholarship, I would have been better. If I had this, I would have been a totally different position. I met somebody like that long time ago, somewhere else. The person is doing very well, apparently very well, reality also very well, but still thinking about a certain mistreatment the person got in his mother country, still haunting him or her. So sometimes you failed because this good thing could have not come if you hadn't failed in your life. Rejection was a blessing, right? Denial, rejection was a blessing. But at the time of rejection, you were so mad about it, unhappy. But it happened. Nature helped you to understand that. Now look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at the mistreatment from that time itself. Look at it now. Look back in a positive mind. The self-perpetuating cycle of jealousy, depression, and isolation. These are normal things, I think you know. Money, job, life status, right? So, work on myself or sink into deeper resentment. I mean, personal stories that many people may have as such. Transforming envy, jealousy into more, it's more than a ice cream, you know, more than a lollipop, I think, definitely. Admit your envy, jealousy, no shame, just human. Does their success really harm me? Sometimes not. It's not harming me. Right? We don't have to process that thing. I flip the script. Their joy makes the world brighter, and I'm in this world too, and I contribute differently. These are the ways we are practicing, okay? This is very important, this part. Number one, rejoicing in others' merits anumodana. I think you are doing that. When someone performs a wholesome act, dana, sila, bhavana, mentally, verbally, say, sadhu, this sadhu mentality, sadhu environment, may their goodness grow. Aligns one's mind with the field of punya and removes envy at the root. Even when one doesn't give, rejoicing in giving creates merit. Rejoicing is such a good way. I think this is something that is very normal to all of you. But be careful when you are creating the merit, try to accept the whole meritorious situation well. How come you give a better dana than me, you know? That kind of thinking is not a good one, right? You're going to browse all the photos of dana thing. How come you're doing better than me? Right? So that means even this has some certain areas some people may have to work on. But anyways, sadhu environment, mentality must be continued with some wholeheartedness. Number two, reflecting on others' success without comparison. Can we do that? Can we just accept other people's achievements without connecting to us. We don't have to connect all these things. When seeing someone succeed or flourish, reflect, their joy is beautiful, may it continue and increase. You can do that instantly, maybe after today, maybe during the time. Certain things that your friends, colleagues, your family members have done well in the last couple of weeks that you could not accept them. I got a student, and then this student was telling, when we discussed about jealousy, I'm really envious of my sister. I said, why? Because she focuses better than me. Your family. She's in your family, right? Yeah, but we have a silent struggle going on, right? So this is the thing. Can you for one moment accept somebody's success without connecting to you? You can do it. Why to connect to you? They are different people. This prevents the arising of issa, envy, jealousy, and strengthens the capacity to celebrate others. Then this mudita meditation. The first one, sadhu mentality. Second, without connecting others' happiness to us, and then understanding, celebrating. Third is mudita meditation, which we started. After metta, karuna, bring to mind someone who is doing well, as we did today, spiritually, materially, or in health, and generate sincere gladness, mudita. I rejoice in your happiness, may your happiness continue. I think we did that, we are continuing that. You can also bring health, good health. Not all of you are not equally healthy, right? But you may be healthy in different ways. Somebody might be going through a cancer treatment, and somebody may be very healthy even in that person's later years. Just be happy for everybody. Maybe that happiness will be your teacher to overcome your health problem too. Who knows? Now when someone is healthier than you, you are not accepting that, then you are increasing your what you call ill health more and more. The moment you accept, oh, you are healthy, you must have done a good karma in a past life. You must have good lifestyle choices than me. I messed up in my lifestyle choices, food, sleep, and then interactions, everything. So I appreciate you. Maybe I wish I was somebody like you, right? So that kind of mentality is what we are creating throughout the mudita meditation. Countering jealousy mindfully. Now, you are doing mudita. Do we need satipatthanas on the other hand? Yes, we do. Satipatthanas also work together. Satipatthana means mindfulness. When jealousy arises, how to know that I am jealous? Is there any factor from Brahma Viharas to note it? No, mindfulness has to go there at that point. Right? True awareness, sati, you understand, I think I'm jealous now. Oh, I'm on the way to become jealous. Right? How many of you have noticed you are on the way to become angry? I know that I'm on the way to become angry. I'm going to explode in a moment of time. How many of you have noticed that moment? It's $1 million moment, because if you had seen it, you would have stopped it. Normally you look at it after everything happened and you blame everybody, you shouted, and then you suffer at the end of the day. What did I do today? I messed up everybody. Is anybody here was able to look at that you are on the way to become negative, akusala, anger, jealousy, now in here? Then you are such a good person, you know what's happening to you. You are such a kusala person. You have the practice. You know something going wrong in me. So when jealousy is going to arise, you see the nature of differences with regard to your breath and your thought patterns, you understand it. You are not going to suppress it. Today maybe I postpone my jealousy for next week. Next week I will be jealous again. Not that way. No, I don't want to suppress that. I have a problem. I want to look at it. Who am I? Maybe I'm going to write down, what do you call, jealousy journaling. Right? Some people write down anger journaling. When you are angry, immediately take your diary or whatever, write down the thoughts that come to you. Then I know that in a moment of time, 30 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, you go back to normal. Look at how evil were you. What kind of a monster are you? Where is the monster? It's not in the movies, it's right here. And you understand that. The moment you become jealous, write down all the feeling. Why not me? He should have done that later. She should have married later than me. I should have gone to that place earlier. I should have traveled more. Think about it. Call yourself. Do your own thinking. Then you will understand, these are the thoughts that are coming to me time to time. Today I know them. Then I will reduce those thoughts for tomorrow. Acknowledge. I think better to write down. It's good. Right? Acknowledge it. Mindfully. You cannot acknowledge without some amount of mindfulness. To become aware where you are now, what is happening to me. And gently shift the mind towards mudita. Ask, why not rejoice? Is their gain truly my loss? I don't think so. They are doing separately. Now today we have a very different way to look at it. Innovation. The corporate companies, private companies, F&B culture, they have to innovate, right? You go to this kind of restaurant, and the restaurant next to it also carrying the same nature of food, but they are innovative, their way of presenting. You can copy us, but you cannot be us. Right? You can copy our recipe, but you cannot be us. We are very innovative. We are very creative. So I suggest, if you can be creative in your kusala activities, you can easily practice mudita. That means every time somebody is trying to outsmart you, emulate you, let him do, let her do, but this is my way. I'm happy for you, but I do in my own way. The problem happens when you think there's no creativity, there's no innovation, everybody will do the same thing. You take all my business, I'm very unhappy about you. And you take my connections, everybody, I'm very unhappy about it. Why? We don't have that innovation, innovative thinking. Let's be creative in our kusala practice. So, is other people gain, not my loss, it is their gain. I have my own way to make my future, my family, my life better in all steps. So this transforms negative emotion into insight and soft-heartedness. Number 5, method 5 to practice it practically, visualizing mudita as a radiance. Imagine your heart as a lotus that opens whenever others are joyful. Their joy becomes light that makes your lotus bloom. This supports a non-conceptual, emotional cultivation of mudita. How to visualize mudita? We normally visualize all the wrong things, right? We can easily visualize manifest in a moment of time, right? Then how to visualize good things? We have to visualize certain moments in other. Or tomorrow maybe my friend will go for a good lunch, maybe do a dana. So I visualize how he or she goes and doing good things. I can be happy for that. So we have to positively visualize, not letting that negative automatic visualization happens and then take us over. Visualize in a good way. That can help you to keep to the mudita. Number 6, daily recollection. Each evening, recall 3 things you rejoice in that others experience, in addition to your good things. Someone's act of dana, generosity. This could be many things. Even somebody who opens the lift for you. Somebody who was waiting just until you go inside the lift. Somebody who let you pass on the road. And what are the other ways you can let other people just do? I mean, at that point, there are many ways, right? And someone's happiness or health. Each evening you are thinking, right? Maybe you are not that much healthy, but you know other people are healthy. I'm happy for them. Why I bring their happiness to my health problem? Let's say I have depression. Other people are very happy. Why should I bring their happiness, mental health to my depression? I have to work on it. But I should be separately happy for them. And their spiritual growth. Dhamma practice. So this trains the mind to look for joy rather than faults. This is very interesting. I think for the most part of our day, we would like to find fault with others. Are we or aren't we? Why is it? Naturally, or maybe with our effort, it is because this mudita mentality is less within us. So then, how to create a life where we have less finding fault, accepting who they are in their own way. At the same time, be happy for them and don't try to connect them to us in that way. We are not separating us from their happiness. At the same time, we don't need to combine us into their own ways because they might be differently thinking. We accept them separately for their thoughts, activities. Last one. Reading or listening to stories of noble beings. I don't know how many of you have read about the life of the Buddha. That is very important. It's very important to read about the life of the Buddha. But where to read? There are many books. They interpret their own way. Right? So we have to read the life of the Buddha from a book that is really talking from the early text. Reflect on the lives of Arahants, Bodhisattvas, or contemporary Kalyana Mitras and feel glad or feel mudita for their wisdom and attainment. That is another way to create mudita, because I think those people who have not read these stories, they can easily lack in mudita. When they appreciate the Buddha and his arahants and even not even them, other very good people, noble people, that will create some space in your heart to accept that there are better people, noble people, and I can be noble too one day. This inspires joy and devotion rather than discouragement or self-comparisons. 7 ways. Number 1, rejoicing in others' merits, sadhu mentality. Number 2, disconnecting, the way how you accept other people's happiness. You look at it, you don't need to make it to yourself. Number 3, meditation, mudita as a meditation, which we do today and tomorrow. And countering jealousy with some satipatthana mindfulness, visualizing mudita moments in you, in others, daily recollection, and reading, listening to noble biographies. The ripple effect of joy. The joy will become mudita. Now, Buddhism has a couple of Pali words for joy. What are they? Piti, pamojja. Normally they translate piti to be joy, pamojja means delight. There's one Dhammapada stanza talks about Ramaniyani aranyani yattana ramati jano vitaraga ramesanti nate kama gavesino. Normal ordinary people cannot really enjoy the forest. Why? They are succumbed to, vulnerable to sensual pleasures. But Arahants and the above, Pacceka Buddhas, Samma Sambuddhas can really enjoy it. But their happiness is what you call by non-delight. Passion, what you call raga-free non-delight. Raga-free non-delight. So that means joy has a secular connotation and then a spiritual connotation. So when you are trying to be happy through sensual pleasures, it might be a joy, but it might sometimes not be a delight, pamojja or mudita. Even seeing someone smile make a whole room happier. Mudita starts small but transform everything. Stories. Lot of stories about mudita in the Buddhist canon. Think about Venerable Ananda. Never reached enlightenment until the Buddha passed away. But he was very happy for everybody. Right? I think this is a bodhisattva quality. We should talk about that. Think about Mahayana version of practice at the moment and Theravada version of practice. In Theravada version of practice, we should not supposed to be in that because early Buddhism is what should guide us. We normally say, you practice in your own. That is the notion. They go to a certain place, they practice, and they are doing it. But the Bodhisattva mentality, what is the notion of Bodhisattva? What is their perception? Until the last person attains Nibbana, I am not going to attain Nibbana. Very interesting. You go first mentality comes from Bodhisattva. I will make myself better. But my mission is make sure everybody else is going to attain Nibbana. Maybe that is my meditation itself. That mudita concept. I will make it to Nibbana one day. So, have you seen people who have become more selfish in the meditation? Have you seen them? These are not supposed to be. When you practice meditation, you have to support other people. Don't think that this is a isolated practice we do in a room. No, you have to engage with your Kalyana Mittas. When you engage with the Kalyana Mittas, your meditation works better, faster. It grows well. Never think that I should go first. I help other people. Because that mudita mentality will finally be your Nibbana, as we understand here. This is very interesting. Some cultures do have a problem in practicing mudita, especially in the Western cultures, talking all about oneself, especially highly comparative, individualistic societies, honor-shame cultures, post-colonial or traumatized cultures. We don't have a room for that. But you are lucky, you are blessed, you can think about that. We have to accept no matter what, while we are looking at our own merits, our own ways of understanding about mudita, we can do this as a meditation and in other 7 ways which we done. Mudita in the age of social media. Now we are juggling with internet. We cannot do anything. I mean, starting with paying a bill, talking to somebody, doing a Dhamma activity, even your secular normal activities. We cannot deny that. We have to accept it, right? So in this particular intersection of our life, it is not a new thing to us. It has been happening for the last 25 years. We are trying to overcome this FOMO mentality, fear of missed out, fear of being missed out, fear of being left out concept. Now, when you look at things compared to how you look at 15 years back, you look at them through TV, maybe in person. Now you look at most of those things through internet age. So how to look at it? Can you feel happy? Can you be joyous with being missed out, with being left out? So mudita helps you to understand those glorious moments of other people. At the same time, mudita helps us to accept the moments that you have feeling being missed out, left out. It's okay. It's okay to be left out, missed out. Because we are not behind. We are doing our things in a different way. And when you see things that are really better than you at the moment, you are thinking, I'm genuinely happy for them, even if it takes effort at first. It might take time, but you are doing it. This is a quote I made some time ago. Feeling jealous of same field friends is normal, but don't let it ruin your creativity. That creativity, spiritual creativity, secular creativity. Focus, learn more about your innate talents instead. That is another very interesting point. Are we looking at our own talents? Then we don't mind about what other people do. Let them do their own way. I know I have my own way, I have my own future. But I have to accept their happiness also. But that happiness does not harm me. They may do better in certain ways, but I do in different other ways. Think about someone who recently got something you wanted. How did you feel? Be honest. Can you say, I rejoice in their happiness? Finally, rejoicing in others' joy is the fastest path to inner peace. Now, you've been searching this for many, many years. You did it in your own way, meditation, dana, but you might have thought, I cannot stick to that in some ways. Maybe it has not become consistent. Why? There must have been a certain problem that prevents me in attaining that inner peace. I'm not talking Nibbana. The happiness, peace of mind, that will eventually lead to Nibbana. We have to get to that point before go to Nibbana. If Nibbana is the highest happiness, inner peace is general happiness. We must have it, right? So, if we can really create a certain ability through these 8 ways that we discussed in order to practice mudita, we will fast track our inner happiness. Fast track. Now we are lagging. We are juggling about this thing. We try to do bits and pieces, a little bit of dana, meditation, sila. We try to gather. But this could be a fast track process, rapid process to find the inner peace. Because then whatever I hear, whatever I see, it doesn't matter. I know my own way. Nobody can take my peace away. Nobody can ruin me. But it doesn't mean I have a sensory deprivation about what other people are doing. I still look at it. I still see it. Remember how did the Buddha say about how to experience senses? In the last sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, Indriya Bhavana Sutta, 152. The Buddha clearly says about how to do it. I mean, in terms of you hearing other people's happiness, how to process it. One man approached the Buddha, and then he asked the Buddha asked from him, how did your teacher tell you, take care of your senses, what is happening? Then our teacher had told us, when something that is not favorable happening to us, we have to cover our eyes. Do people do that in today's world? Are people covering their eyes when they see certain things that are not really happy for them? Huh? People who are watching movies, terrible, horrible movies, when the monster comes, they close their eyes. Where is the monster now? They cover their eyes. I mean, in different situations. I think some people do in different ways. When they meet people they don't like, they look away. Are they doing that? They are doing it. Sometimes they want to hear first, who is coming to the party today? I'm not coming then. So they are doing that. Then he told this thing to Buddha. That is how our teacher told us how to take care of the eyes and the experience. Then the Buddha said, then the blind people will attain Nibbana faster than all of us. Why? They don't see anything. Very interesting, very sensible, practical. Yeah, is it happening? No, blind people are blind people unless they touch the braille. Nothing else, nothing progressive happening. Maybe just because their eyes are not working, ears might be working better than that. Just to balance out. Then he asked, okay, tell me more. And he said, yes, what about the ears? Our teacher told us long time, he's been telling all the time, when a certain unfavorable sound is somebody that we don't like talk, we're going to cover our ears. So then we have a sense experience, so that we have a good, healthy ear experience. Then the Buddha said, then the deaf people will attain Nibbana faster than all of us. Deaf people. But it's not happening. Just because you don't, right? It is not that you're shutting down, cancelling your things. Then finally what the Buddha said was, it's not by depriving of your sensory experience you will attain happiness. It's by acknowledging, accepting. Do what you are supposed to do within that experience will help you to go to the inner peace. Now here, going back, mudita. When we hear other people's success from other people, see, XYZ got a new car, Oh, really? He didn't have that car that time. A few years back, he got a new car, very good car. He got a very mansion type of house. He's traveling a lot, Every month he's in different country. Is he a seaman? No, he's not a seaman. Is he a pilot? No, normal person. How come? You process very well. Yeah, doesn't matter. Oh, good for him, good for her. Happy for him or her. I accept that. It fast tracks your inner happiness. You think about, you are doing a lot of good activity, you don't have mudita, this mudita. Every time you hear, you do a dana. They say, your friend gave a very big dana. Really? Better than me? Thinking. All are troubling you. Every bit and piece of that experience troubles you. So understand, practice of mudita as an attitude, daily attitude, as a meditation. Fast tracks your inner health, inner peace and then health. Mudita is not just a practice, it's a superpower. I think we are looking for superpowers, right? In our life, why it matters? Because Buddhism talks about energy, right? Does Buddhism talk about energy? How much does energy matter in our Dhamma life? Sometimes we know all the Dhammas, you can say all the suttas, but you are very lazy, very badly lazy, right? Why? Energy has not been maintained. The Buddha says, virya, it's very important. It's not virya important. Managing virya is important. How to manage it? Samma vayam, right effort. Although you know a lot of Dhamma, you know what is good, what is bad, but you don't have enough courage, motivation. You are always lazy, troubled by others things, bad friends. Papa mitta, the opposite of kalyana mitta. Papa mitta is around us. So you don't know how to create your energy. The Buddha said there are 4 ways to create energy. I remember our last retreat last November, we talked about this thing with regard to clearing bad karma. 4 ways to do it. What are the 4 ways? First 2 are about the akusala. Second 2 are about the kusala. Preventing non-existing or inactive akusala. So putting forth effort, energy to prevent non-existing akusala. Let's say you are not bad, you don't have those akusala, so you want to prevent them. Then putting forth energy to remove the existing active akusalas. You have some bad negative states, virtues. Let's say, is being late an akusala? Very good one, right? Is being late an akusala in Buddhism? Late. 2 types of late. Secular punctuality and spiritual punctuality. Right? You are not punctual anytime. Right? Your time should be other people's time, right? You are breaking the second precept, adinadana. You ask people to stay there and you take in that person's time. Adinadana. Adinadana doesn't even mean go and rob a bank or steal somebody's stuff. People can steal other people's time. Right? It might be a little depressive to you if you are not that kind of person. How to go there at this time? Go early, but don't go too early, and don't be too late. Right? So that means energy matters. Now here it says, even at that kind of a small bad virtue is a problem. I remember there was a time that someone in academia told me, he's a very good professor, long time, very talented. I don't know why he is coming to this level finally, but there's a small bad virtue. What is that? He's always late. It's a problem, right? Keeping up with the time, this punctuality. How does someone do the punctuality? It's by understanding appamada. Then the second part of the right effort, putting energy to remove the existing akusala. Then third one, creating, I would say, putting forth energy to create new kusala. I think there are better people than me in terms of kusala, so I want to learn from them. Last one is, I have existing good kusala, I want to improve them. So putting forth energy to improve the existing active kusala. This is what we call power. This is the superpower. I mean, if we don't have this energy management, doesn't matter how much Dhamma you know, you're not going to get anywhere. You will go nowhere at that point. That's why mudita kicks in when you manage your energy levels. You can take it from yoga or other things too. They are all talking about energy matters, right? The next time someone wins, ask yourself, can I smile for them? I think you should be, definitely. This is what we've been talking. I think we have almost come to the time. Going back, what we discussed today primarily is about mudita. Now you know mudita is an attitude and a meditation. Just to finalize, we have to carry mudita attitude in our daily life from morning to evening, right? And if you are able, time to time, you can do this mudita meditation. Now you've been doing metta, anapanasati, breath meditation. So time to time, at least once a week, I don't know how jealous you are, depends on how envious jealous you are. Time to time, depending on how jealous you are, that on a scale of 1 to 10 of your jealousy, you can think about whether should I do every 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 1 week. If I'm not that jealous, at least twice a week, maybe once in fortnight, you can think about doing it. So then you are maintaining your spiritual, this quality, mudita quality. So metta is growing on one side, karuna is always growing. I don't think people have problems with karuna. You all are very compassionate people. But the problem is mudita and upekka plus metta. So then think about making it to a practice like that. So today will be the motivation, today and tomorrow. So then these two ways will carry our, mudita mentality. So finally, ideally speaking, from a certain point onwards, when you hear someone is doing well, you have lots of happiness you are using from their happiness. Earlier, you got a lot of unhappiness, suffering, but then you are instantly transforming. Every time, please tell me more. But not being a gossiper, tell me more about how they did it. But not, if you want to tell me. But when I hear that, I'm happy for that. But here there are certain areas you have to be careful. Don't try to always look for other people. You do your own thing, your practice. But time to time, you will hear words of other people, things online, maybe from other people. Then every time, try to make yourself happy. Finally, before we get to the short mindful walking before our lunch time, I want to tell you, this whole discussion of I am happy that you are happy, mudita mentality, goes to a shared happiness. Normally we are happy by us, but this will go to a shared happiness. That means we are not separating from other people's happiness. If you separate yourself from other people's happiness, that's the moment you feel very unhappy. So then, looking at other people's progress, looking at your own progress, you are making this happen. And then your practice flourishes, thrives, and then, as I said at the end, this mudita practice will fast track your inner happiness. So this is what we discuss and what we will be discussing. So now then, if you have questions, this is just a talk, you have an option. One is that we have a dialogue session today afternoon, but those questions are asked by somebody here. And then for tomorrow, you can see in the program from 9:30 to 11, there's a Q&A. So you have a couple of options. One is write down your question on a piece of paper. I think there are papers in the back, and then drop them into a box. There's a box. That is one option. Another is you can ask in person, real time. Any questions that you have about mudita with regard to the, or if you see that there are certain matters arising from the discussion, you can ask them too. Okay, so with those information, would like to say, may all the good karmas that we've been making, even through this Dhamma talk about mudita, and all the good things we've been doing so far in this morning, be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we will go back to walking meditation. By 11:30, maybe by 11:25, you may go outside, take your lunch box and come and sit down for the lunch. And we will start here by 11:30. This is another practice of meditation. Normally we've been practicing with some Pali statesman about Pachavikana, Ahara Pachavikana, but today made a kind of mindful reflection about eating a little bit differently, but incorporating the Pali sections. So you are going to consume your food by reflecting on these aspects, a spoonful of awareness. You can perhaps read after me. As I take this first bite, pause. As I take this first bite, pause. This is not just food. It is the earth, the rain, the sun, the hands that planted, harvested, prepared. Chew slowly. Let each bite be a meditation, not just on taste, but on gratitude, on interbeing. I notice the texture, the warmth, the quiet joy of nourishment. Not too fast, not too distracted. This moment is enough. I eat not to overeat, not to decorate the body, but just to keep this body healthy. A vessel to practice the Dhamma. Eat with presence, eat with peace. Let the meal be my teacher. Now you may eat mindfully. Let each bite nourish your body, each breath nourish your mind, and each moment awaken your heart. Please start. After the lunch, what is happening is that we are having from 12 to 12:30 cleaning and rest time, and then 12:30, 1 o'clock mindful walking, and we have the discussion starting at 1 o'clock. And for those who have been still waiting to book an appointment, please approach Sophia in the back, or Sister Janice Malika to book that if you are not comfortable with that booking thing. We have some couple of slots still available, 4 or 5. Thank you. Please have your lunch mindfully.